What is up, Drama Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar. Let's get right into the news. Alrighty then. Let's get right into the news. This document aims to underline the patterns of behavior and ways that an individual online gangster size macrophilia fetish communities has been taken advantage of. Closest to this document to shine light on Julia with the main online handles and aliases. Wow, this is a spicy meatball of degeneracy, disgusting little king. Kind of shameful, am I right, folks? Alright then. Julia is cute. Formerly Twitter handle Julia Shadow. Patreon Julia Shadow. Under the same brand with Discord Red Julia G. Old alias is Winter2187. Used on vegan art and early communities. Early district community Julia in Boot City server. Jelly and Jam 7 Xbox gamer tag. What the hell? The primary objective of this document is to bring awareness to this individual's actions, and to help artists and community members in recognizing and avoiding them, and their manipulative behavior and narcissism. This report is not intended to incite a witch hunt. This report is not intended to incite witch hunt, but provide factual reports of poor and misleading behavior towards community members, as well as artists. No artist or anyone associated with Julia should be targeted. If you have an issue with Julia's actions, the best thing to do is to not give her any attention and ignore her. We are aware that Julia has recently posted an announcement stating that she was solely set to retire from content production, and has given the public and has given her general public apology, which can be found on the bottom of this document. We believe it is a star, but it's still the timing and severity of Julia's current impact message is not addressed at all. We believe that it is important to inform everybody of the extent of Julia's behavior, which is why we have decided to still post this document. Despite the apology at the bottom of the document, we have included an overview of the money they have taken from a single individual via deceit, which has been used to fund her dozens of commissions, collabs, and irresponsible spending, as well as other pertaining screenshots we could release without breaking anonymity of the artists who have helped bring this to light. For any questions, please email us at necessarydocument2026@gmail.com. We'll try and answer as soon as we can. Over the past several years, Julia has used different means to manipulate individuals and artists into helping her grow her influence within community. This has come in several forms, with the most common being her having art made for free, at heavily discounted prices, or having people send physical money to her. The full extent of their manipulation remains unclear, but it is confirmed that Julia has targeted numerous artists and created under the guise of collaborations. These arrangements frequently resulted in Julia's demanding work beyond the initial scope, requesting discounted rates, hijacking projects, and insisting on significant revisions late into the creative process. After talking to numerous artists and creators who had worked with Julia in becoming the running trend for her, consistently asked for more than she initially stated or paid for. It has also come to light that many of the projects that people have worked hard in creating have yet seen the light within the community, with Julia holding back many projects from public view for months at a time, or in some cases even years, and presenting a lot of their recent posts seem to have originally created between late 2023 to 2024, with many still hidden away even after completion. This also ties into how many artists and creators stated that Julia is extremely pushy and wanting them to finish their work as soon as possible. But once artists complete their side of the collaboration, Julia proceeded to take an extremely long time to complete their own side of the project. On top of that, many stated that it seemed the only time Julia ever wanted to speak with them was to get an update on when the projects or art were going to be finished. Julia has also targeted individual members of their community for financial backing, using medical issues a reason for needing more money. While it's public knowledge that Julia has mentioned that they're dealing with severe medical issues, Julia has approached various people within her community stating that they are in financial trouble. This resulted in Julia receiving private donations from several individuals that range into the tens of thousands of dollars. In this unknown exactly of how much money people have sent to Julia in total, but we do know that the figures is the excess of 60,000. All this money was sent to Julia under the pretense that they would be helping someone out in a rough situation. However, after lining up the stories that Julia has told different people, it's become clear to them that Julia has been using them as another form of manipulation for their own gain, using these donations for things like financing commissions, using them to eat out at restaurants, and for games and in-game microtransactions. It's also evident that most of her reasons are lies, as she used the same reasons on manipulations people to get money from as many people as possible. Quote, finishing this case. Case, I think I never known what is your job. Forensic. Shit, how does liquid speak? Who's all a lie to manipulate you more easily. Okay, that is. Quote. Introducing. Shit, how do we. Okay, this is going to be a quote from the Discord interactions. Alright. It's time for me to introduce the Discord interactions in this file. Finishing this case. Case, I think I've never known what is your job. Forensic physiologist. Oh, that's really cool. In this document, we will be able to underline how Julia has catfished many people into believing their claim to be who they are. How they have used this catfish identity to take money from people, and how they have manipulated artists and creators into giving them discounts or in some cases working for free. Evidence listed where possible. All evidence used in this document has been gained through the research and testimonies of those affected by Julia. We have requested explicit permission for these screenshots and testimonies to be used within this document. Due to the large number of affected individuals, it has been impossible to make note of all the affected individuals, but we have tried our best to represent all of who wish for their names to be presented. Equally, we redacted the names of everyone who wished to be remained anonymous. Hollywood. Analysis of Julia's persona. For those unaware or less knowledgeable about Julia, this is who Julia is according to her own words. This profile sketch is created entirely through her own words and who they present themselves to be online. It is to ensure that we said this, we do not claim that what Julia said is true or false. It is up to you to decide whether you believe what she says or not. But it is important to you to know because she uses this as a basis to get. But it is important to you. But it is important to know because she uses this as a basis to get things from people and will likely also use this as an excuse to hide behind once this document is published. Julia is allegedly a woman in her 20s who's just finished college and now works as a forensic physiologist. She started under the name PhilWinter2187 and mostly posted stories on VA at the time. Julia started college around August of 2021. During this time, she was active within the district communities of Boot City under the name Julia, where she grew close to the owner Sylvia, GTS Sylvia Rose, GTS Rose on X. In this time, she spoke to Sylvia often and told her about her personal life, including the problems with her family. Her last post regarding college was on April 25th of 2023. Quickly after that, August 3rd, 2023, she renamed to the name that we know today, Julia Shadow. However, all was not well surrounding her health. On the 9th of October 2023, Julia officially mentioned for the first time in her Discord server that she was suffering from Zhu-Sachs syndrome, a disease causing your autoimmune system to attack blood vessels in the large parts of your brain. It's possible to cause blindness, problems with the balance, among many other issues. Quickly after, in December 2024, Julia announced that they were going to fly out and receive surgery for an intangible tumor. According to them, this tumor was located where her spinal cord is attached to her brain. According to the narrative, Julia has presented the tumor has surgically been removed, though she asserts that the medical professionals were unable to clear it entirely to combat the remaining remnants. She claims to be undergoing regimen chemotherapy. According to the narrative Julia has constructed, she successfully completed college and secured a position as a forensic physiologist, a claim she makes to anyone who asks, both publicly within her server through private channels. However, her conduct frequently appears inconsistent with the severity of her reported medical struggles. She has often claimed to be intoxicated while active on her server and consistently stays awake until the late night with very to no rest. Furthermore, she admits intentionally neglecting her chemotherapy medication on specific days to be able to drive, which is entirely unfathomable when facing life-threatening conditions. If her claims of having positions as high as earning job are true, it makes no sense for her to beg and demand money from her Discord friends and not afford hiring a driver or a caregiver when necessary. Exploitation of fans through fabricated identity. We are insured as the Julias first began catfishing people. It was safely assumed that sometime during her time being active within Boot City community, with this being the first place that we know of her using the name Julia, though it is unknown if she has had any malicious intentions at the time of her activity. What we do know is that the pictures she's gathered during this time have been used on her by claiming that this is to show her. We can confirm that she did begin to catfish people in the late 2023 using many pictures she had gathered from her and Boot City. Some of these will lead speculations to make sure that we can clear the separation between fact and speculation. We've decided to use separate font. While speaking about speculation, all speculation will be easily recognizable by using this italic font. When talking about Julia, there is a good chance you've been shown this picture. After research that has been already gone back as far as 2023, it is clear that this picture can be found on Pinterest, posted by a user Girl Scout. This post apparently is done as a promotion band for Passive Justice Motel. This person also can be found Tumblr under the same name. At this time, no one has had any reason to assume they've been lied to. Reason to believe this picture is not her. Only one person is known to have an image of Julia, forgot to delete it, and for this individual, every other person who sent the image to a similar friend of her, telling them to not download the picture, most likely to prevent the spread of being recognized by others. It's okay. Nobody's perfect. Look, I think I don't look that good either. Seriously, you look great. That's all I'm saying. But no buts.
But look at you, your hair is great. Meanwhile, on top of my hair is thinning. Gonna get a hair transplant surgery thing when I'm older. Most males in my family go bald. I like my hair, so I'm keeping it, damn it. You also got sick tattoos. I wouldn't be surprised if all the light in that room produced and sold by your smile. Also, your eyebrows look amazing. So sharp and redefined. Honestly, you should be damn proud of how you look.
It is easily speculated that she also did this to prevent any curious people attempting to find the source of the image. She knew that she was... It is easily speculated that she did this to prevent any curious people attempting to find the source of the image, as she knew that it could be easily found online. This image, along with mouth and feet... Come on, degeneracy. This image, along with mouth and feet pictures, have been the main thing she's used to catfish people into talking with her. She has been shown above pictures that many people stating that it was her, telling people that they don't generally set the bill of themselves. This implies some kind of special relationship with the receiver, but in reality, the pictures has likely been taken from the internet, along with more pics that we know are from other people, including JULIAS, Sylvia Rose, and sent to... Now send an offering to Owls as you hugs. Love you, boo. Thanks. Guns. God. Oh my God, it's so messy. How did you do that? Many others. This image was sent to many people and claimed that it was her. She used it mainly to gain favors from people, as shown in the below screenshots of the chat histories. Name in the screenshot redacted to many wanting to remain anonymous. Proof showing the picture was sent by GTS Sylvia Rose on 12/09/2024 before being sent to someone else on the 6th of 27/2025. She used this picture as well as many mouth pics taken by Sylvia and countless other pictures that we have seen, unable to confirm the source, since she has been using these pictures to gain favors from those she interacts with. In this case of the above screenshot, it was monetary gain. Given the fact that many pictures from other people have been used by Julia, there is a large chance that if you had any pictures exchanges with Julia, yours may be included as well here. For this reason, we've uploaded an overview of feet and mouth pictures that people have received from Julia. If your picture is included here, it has been used by Julia to catfish others. Please note that these are not all of the pictures that Julia has sent, but a healthy selection of the pictures that have been sent to other people. Through combinations of mod shots, feet pictures, and the pictures likely taken by Pinterest, thumbnail models, Julia proceeds to create pictures in which she makes the receiver feel special and close to them. This is only amplified by Julia telling the receiver that they normally never show these pictures to anyone else, telling the receiver not to share them with others. Oh my, very good. Very good. See, I only dog, and he seemed perfect to throw inside my fucking putrid Converse. On top of that, Julia shows the behavior of social chameleon, someone who exchanges her preferences for specifically receivers. When combining everything, it's like Julia does all this to get close to people and get what she wants. I want you huge. I want so large I'm smaller than a centimeter. So you're mounted and every detail is scary. Every detail and I'm all scared, and you move and it shakes everything. I'm also so loopy from the meds. May you help me renew Buzz Pass? And I'll send you mouth pics. Here, I'm gonna send you one anyway. May you help me renew my Buzz Pass? And I'll send you a mouth pic. Here, I'm gonna send you one anyway. Sure, I'll send it after this. Julia's Discord is another story altogether. Although it was initially created as a Discord for Julia's closest friends, it has quickly become a gathering point for the big artists and people that she can take advantage of. Julia holds a tight reign. Julia holds a tight reign in which people are not allowed to RP, request commissions, or share scripts, art without their explicit permission. At the same time, herself shows no need to follow these rules, themselves teasing the people with horny chats approaching the artists they've gathered requests / commissions. There have been multiple instances where the others were teasing one another, only for Julia to come in, tell people not to tease one another, and then proceed to tease them herself, creating an environment that seems to be catered to for people to get close and interact with fetish-wise with Julia. The rules imposed suggest, and even the Discord itself seems to be placed that prevents people from lewdly interacting with another and prevents artists from speaking with one another, so that just leaves Julia in control. Yum. Wreck me. Yes. Continue off that ABD grind against Night Shaft. At everyone. While I do trust people I invite to this server, there are still some rules that need to be followed. Rules will be added over time, and some will not be set in stone. But here are the basics list of general rules to follow and keep this place safe and comfortable for all your beings. Rule number 1. Little to no pings allowed. This is not a horny chat. Rule 2. Be respectful to one another. No racist / political remarks. Rule 3. Never share any scripts or art without my permission. Absolutely no asking for requests and such from artists. Refrain from talking about commissioning artists and such within the server. You must be 18 plus to be here at all. Anyone who is not will be kicked. Ask to DM people before you do, unless you have already DM'd before. No underage art of any kind. You will be kicked for posting it. I advise you against talking behind people's backs on the server. Whether it's people you don't personally like or other servers you have a problem with, best to save that for DMs. If you have any problems with anyone else inside of this server, talk to me directly. Rule number 10. Name and link the artist before posting art from them. Try your best to at least have one or the other. Never post content that hasn't been released publicly yet from artists, patrons, or other sites. If anyone is hacked, make sure not to click release or things sent. And if your account gets hacked, let your friends know anyway. Any way you can. Rule 13. No political discussions or arguments of any kind. Rule 14. TBD. I don't know what that means. Julia's behavior closely resembles that of two kinds of people. That of a people pleaser trying to fit exactly in the image that the people expects of her. I'm kind of sick of this shit. Let me get this shit here. Need some water too. Julia's behavior closely resembles that of two kinds of people. Either that of a people pleaser trying to fit in exactly in the image of what people expect of her, or that of someone who closely resembles a romance scammer by telling people exactly what they want to hear, trying to get close, faking their identity, and staying in close contact. Julia seems to wait until the people close to her start thinking less logically about other things. She may start thinking less logically about others, things she may say, and their initial defense is lowered. Once Julia seems like a close friend, they Fucking hell. The rest of the sentence talks in they, them. Best to keep consistently. Get invited to Julia's Discord and then request for detailed roleplay collaborations from artists, friends, discounts from artists, and requests for money start coming. Okay, tomorrow we do Silent Circle 550 and Taylor for 300. Combine some like normal. One early and one later.
So I had to update my card. I'm having issues transferring money over. 200 is going to be the first, but I'll try again later.
It's okay. I saw you sent 300. So the 550 later. It is the request for money that has left many feeling betrayed by Julia. With the cracks in her stories appearing more prominently, it has led many realizing that the person they thought they were was hope. It is the request for money that have left many feeling betrayed by Julia. With the cracks in her stories appearing more prominently, it has led many to realize that the person they thought they were helping was really been exploiting their generosity for her own gain. We don't have any exact figures of how. It is the request for money that has left many feeling betrayed by Julia. With the cracks in her stories appearing more prominently, it has led many to realize that the person they thought they were helping has really been exploiting their generosity for their own gain. We don't have an exact figure of how much money Julia has managed to get from everyone, but we have some figures from those who have stepped forward. We know that the one particular individual who has asked to remain anonymous has sent excessive of $60,000 alone, with us knowing of at least 3 other individuals who have sent her money over the years. It can be assumed that the total amount she has gained from these people to be in the excess of possibly $70,000. Yeah, my tumor is not binging and needs more chemo and stuff. I don't want to discuss. I can't even eat tonight. They said for those new meds I'm taking, so instead of dinner, you can get me Far Cry, because why not? I'm gonna just sit here and do nothing for a bit. I said that so I can manipulate you more easily. I said that so I can... Liquid? Yes, it is I, Liquid Snake. Do you like these glasses? These are Ray-Bans, manufactured by the Ray-Ban Company in 1967. These are the Ray-Bans. They were constructed by the Ray-Ban Company in 1967. I only said that so I can manipulate you more easily. I said that so I can manipulate you more easily. You fool! Julia would also ask for money daily in order to pay for food. The amount easily ranged from $15 to $40 daily on food expenses. This started as an occasional request, stating that without help, she wouldn't be eating that day, despite stating she worked as a forensic physiologist, either due to sheer laziness or out of lack of finances via irresponsible spending, creating a situation which leaves Julia their well-being in the hands of others. Slowly over the course of several months, it has went from the occasional request to a daily request. This and dinner. Gimme. Thanks, bro. Event. During this time, it has also been noted by others that she would also be extremely careless with her money, buying games or items in game while she was supposedly not making enough money to feed herself. On top of that, the daily food payments, she would also demand people to buy games for her so that she could play them. Some of which were newly released AAA titles. People we've spoken to can recall moments where Julia has either requested money or had been sent money by them that was meant for food, only for Julia to purchase in-game items later that day and talk about it in her Discord server. This behavior of her begging for food money and then spending it money on games or otherwise unnecessary pains and pictures. This behavior of her begging for food money and then spending money on items that otherwise are unnecessary paints a picture of Julia that shows she is either extremely bad with money or has blatant disregard for the generosity of others and considers it normal. That's normal. Why do you care? In addition, it has also led to people leaving the community altogether feeling taken advantage of.
From November 26, and 2023, and at the end of May 9th of 2024, I've lost $12,340. Reason for stopping Julia's account was hacked and required a new one. From May 10, 2024, December 31st, 2024, 14,970. From January 1, 2025, and May 31st, 2025, $15,500. Total amount will continue tomorrow. Holy crake! $42,815. From June 1st, 2025, and November 14th, 2025, $17,377. Final total sent $6,192. And shit, whatever. This does not cover the money I sent via Patreon, Substar, and DeviantArt. Julia continued to ask for games as well as money for food, to point that her blatant disrespect for others people's generosity becomes all too clear. She would constantly use words and sentences aimed at making them feel special or leave the responsibility of her well-being in the hands of others. Her words create a picture that she was requesting this from individuals specifically, even though she was doing the same to multiple people simultaneously. You mine. You're mine. Mine. You mine. 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 You're mine. You're mine. 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 I'll send you some of mine. I like to have fun, but you're special. Never felt this, so yeah, I'm lesbian, but I can have fun with close friends. Oh, I'm glad. Send me gross maw pics. Ah, you love my maw. I love yours. In this moment, like these, that she used to capture people in her grass, stating that they were special to her and made her feel like no one else does. Despite her being a lesbian, with these actions, Julia once again portrays a picture of romantic interest to make people feel special. It shows that she attempts to make users feel romantically towards her and uses person's feelings towards her against them. This behavior is not placed in a fetish community. This behavior has no place in a fetish community. It involves misleading others and taking advantage of their emotional vulnerability. Julia is keeping them close, but at arm's length. She would continue to do things like this to many people, and it all either went down the path of them spending her money or her using them emotionally, in this case for Sword or Q, as they
more known by it, resulted in them being emotionally manipulated into writing extensive RP interactions and stories in attempts to please Julia's requests, with Julia consistently stating that Q was so special to them and that they have never felt this way about a guy before. As much as Julia would repeat these statements, she would still never take anything further than a horny interactions and friendly chatting. Yet she would constantly try to keep Q as close to her as possible by using statements as they mentioned on top of that, the IRL picture she has stolen from others that we've shown here. That we've shown here before. Then also sent and used to keep Q's close and believed in the illusion she would then request IRL pictures in return, which Q unfortunately then gave. There have been many interactions like this, and we sadly can't give a representation of all of them, but with these few alone, it is clear that Julia's intentions with people were far from humble in the sense it paints a picture of a person willing to do what she saw fit to get money and emotional gratifications from people. Her actions have left many betrayed and, in some cases, traumatized by the interactions they had with her. Kink communities are supposed to be safe, encouraging environments for people to express themselves with others where they might not normally be able to. Julia has ceased this fact and has been using it to gain favors from everyone close to her, which abuses the values of online kink communities. Her behavior has been harmed people more than it has helped. She has emotionally traumatized people, financially drained others, and even made some leave the community altogether. Leaving the community friends they made behind, those who were left behind have lost people they considered friends, and with them leaving the community, they don't have any way of contacting them again. Where does this leave us? As shown above, Julia's behavior seems to be far exceeding of an individual who does not know anyone. Julia's discourse seems to try and minimize intimate contacts between others so that people get dependent on her for intimacy. At the same time, she tries to prevent people from showing pictures to others so that they don't realize that her whole identity is fake. Although faking an identity online is fine, this becomes an issue when she uses this identity to manipulate others. Julia uses the pictures she receives from others and uses her identity to manipulate the feelings of those close to her. This way, she manipulates them into gaining financial favors, extensive roleplay, and more. Although you can argue that this is all done voluntarily, do keep in mind the circumstances Julia claims to be deathly sick, and with her manipulation, Julia considers by many to be a close friend and or loving, but Julia uses this image of her to make people think they're helping out a friend in need, or makes them think they're fooling around with a potential partner, although we cannot definitively prove whether or not Julia's health conditions are real or not. The circumstances are suspicious, to say at the least. They make an ideal excuse to hide behind if called out, and simultaneously warrant a significant amount of money to be needed. But if her claims of having a position as a high-earning job are true, it makes no sense for her to also beg for money in a private and not afford hiring a driver or caregiver when necessary. However, Julia lies about a lot of things, and not everything in her story seems to line up. Things like her not planning / booking accommodations for her visits to the Mayo until at most a month in advance, getting drunk on Discord while using chemo medication, driving unnecessarily while suffering from Zeus-Cast syndrome, having to use medication that did not allow her to drive after being up until extremely late in the night. With everything combined, we can't help but suspect that her health condition isn't entirely true either, and this, that Julia has a stable Patreon claims to have a stable job as a forensic physiologist and could have raised money publicly if needed through a GoFundMe and or other similar requiring privately donated money seems a lot less likely. But as if this by itself wasn't bad enough, it unfortunately isn't the end of Julia's exploits. He has also used similar manipulation tactics in order to gain favors from many reputable artists and creators in the community, such as heavily discounted work, hijacking projects, or even free work. Exploitations of artists and creators. With the size of Julia's following and the seemingly large amount of targeted collaborations that Julia has done over the past year, it's quite logical that to artists, and especially smaller ones, the appeal of getting into collaborations with Julia is quite significant. What we've uncovered, however, is that Julia's similar manipulation tactics and takes advantage of the images they have initially contacts begin within casual conversations, and artists quickly find themselves invited to Julia's private server, which initially stated as a gathering group of friends, but has now been filled to the brim with a large number of creators as eager artists who obviously want to get a commission done, and for someone of Julia's side to then collaborate with you. Seems like a wish come true. After speaking with various artists, we found the evidence of a repeated structure that Julia uses it when it comes to basing everything on written testimony given by an artist with their explicit permission to use them. We must stress, however, that these testimonies seem to correspond and paint a similar picture across the board. In our investigation, we found that Julia does not just finance her collaboration with funds taken from others within her community. We've also confirmed that she consistently attempts to negotiate the pricing of her collaborations even when the artists have set a pricing. Although it is an artist's job to keep their back straight, these price negotiations are often done after the artist has stated working, or in some case, Julia even ends up coming back on the agreed upon price. In cases where artists charge at a later point, such as when sketching has been completed, Julia's tactics result in the artist often having done sketch work which ends up being wasted, do work heavily discounted prices, in some cases entirely free.